Hey, Sparkle Squad. Welcome to another episode of Sparkle Saturdays. And I'm so excited to have our Sparkle sister with us today. We are talking about battling weight gain after 40 and winning. I'm super excited that Grow Inspire Sparkle has partnered with Partner Co, which has some amazing products in addition to the skinny drops that everybody's talking about and that I've actually started myself and I have started seeing results as well. So let's get into today's episode, battling weight after 40 and winning. So first of all, Margaret, tell us who you are, tell us where you're from, and tell us what you do.
Well, my name is Margaret. I am a 73-year-old grandmother of six. I currently live in Richmond, Virginia, moved here from New York a couple of years ago, and I'm enjoying my retirement with my husband. Uh,
Okay, awesome. Anything else you want to add?
Gaining weight after 40. Uh, It can slip up on any of us, and it comes from different reasons. So I
Mm-hmm.
am excited about being able to find something to help me finally lose this weight after 40.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Can you share a bit about your background and what started you with your weight loss journey?
Um, my background, as far as when I was working, I worked for a large communication company and I did sales. And as far as the onslaught of the weight, it started unbeknown to me with an underactive thyroid. And
Oh,
for a
okay.
year, I just continued to get be fatigued, start gaining weight, uh, just until I was just run down. So basically, I was just putting one foot before the other.
Okay.
And then finally, after 1 year, and after gaining 62 pounds, my doctor diagnosed me with hypothyroidism.
Okay. So was that under active thyroid when you say hypo?
Yes,
Hy-
that's underactive. That means that you are tired, sluggish, no energy, night sweats, dry skin, dry hair, you name it, all on the negative side. Because your body is not secreting the hormone that it needs. And your hormone is like the thermostat of your body. So my
uh,
metabolism was Zippo. They actually told me that my thyroid is dead. But
what? Yeah.
they
Wow.
actually, yes, they actually said it's dead. But I've had no treatments other than I am on Synthroid, synthetic medication.
Okay. Okay.
But I
All
never
right.
did radiation or anything to remove it because I believe that God can restore anything back to life.
Amen. Amen. So, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced during your weight loss journey, and then how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, for years, I haven't been able to lose weight. I've tried everything: Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Inches Away, you name it, I did it. The gyms, the startup every January, the commitment to lose a little weight and then just gain it back. So I can't even begin to say how many pounds I've lost and regained. However, my really challenge came when my husband started to deal with dementia. And I found myself first it started with heart issues. And that involved 3 years of going back and forth, taking care of his health needs, and realizing at the end of that journey that I had neglected my own.
Mm.
And so I realized that I was short tempered. I was topsy turvy in all my thinking and doing. My mind was just a fog, brain fog, as they say. I didn't know what that meant, but I realized what that means is that you don't have clarity in thinking. You don't make the best decisions. And I reached a point where I realized that's where I was. I was not making good decisions. And the irony is, all the decisions had now become mine.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I sort of found that as a senior, um, and with the loss of immediate family, I was in this by myself in the way the world sees by myself. But
Mm-hmm.
God is with me. So that's not by myself, but in just doing the everyday things that I needed to do. It was really challenging because I'm dealing now with, I don't want to say a 2-year-old, but I'm dealing with a person that's in an adult body, but doing childish things that requires my attention full time.
Right.
And as I said, my health began to suffer because I was tired. I had no energy. I was uh, I was restless, um, and of course the weight. I did not like how I looked. I haven't taken a full body picture in years because of my weight. You know, and I decided that it was time for me to turn it around and start living and not just being alive. And that
Mm-hmm.
meant doing the things that I knew to do, to have a strong body, a strong mind. And my spirit is what pulled me out of the deep pit that I had allowed myself to get into. And a good friend of mine um, reached out and shared that he had some information on hormone balancing drops. And I knew everything was hormonal. You know, I had also gotten a report from my doctor that I was pre-diabetic, and I couldn't wrap my mind around that either. How am I going to be pre-diabetic? What do I have to do? And that's all they really basically say is you're pre-diabetic. And so I pursued a journey on finding out, okay, well, if I'm pre-diabetic, what do I do to turn my health around? And that meant getting knowledge on how to eat with a body that is now not only am I my bloodstream filled with cortisol from stress, but also my body is turning everything to sugar and fat, and not giving me the energy, not giving me the nutrition it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot right there. That's a mouthful. So, can you tell us about the key lifestyle changes you made that have contributed to like the success that you're seeing now?
I would say the first thing was making a decision. I made a decision that I mattered.
Right.
And making that decision came with obstacles because people want, to them, it's me, me, me. And I had to start saying, okay, I have to take care of me, me, me. And that meant making a decision that I was going to do what I knew to do. And just make a decision to do steps daily. And that meant getting quality products, focusing on how to take them, and doing what I needed to do. Um, just in eating properly, realizing that I needed proper sleep. So even though others weren't ready to go to bed, I prepared myself and I went to bed. Um, I drank, I drink the 90 ounces of water daily. I try to make sure I'm doing exercise. I shoot for 10,000 steps a day, but I tell you, I don't make it, but I get close to it. So that's a
Okay.
key. And I
Okay, that's
also
good.
yes, I got re-involved after the pandemic. I sort of went, we were isolated, and I realized that I had not came back and connected. And so that
Mm-hmm.
was my decision and my mindset was I'm going to go, I'm still alive, and I'm going to connect again. I'm going to connect with my good friends. I'm going to disconnect from people that are not serving in my life. And I'm going to reconnect to people that I had isolated. And if there was a relationship, I was going to restore that relationship.
Mm,
So it all had to do with me coming back, being whole, being
okay.
who God created me to be. And that means living a life with others in my
Mm.
life and being a part of their life.
That's awesome. I deal with codependency, and the things that you're saying right now are so important. And so many people who put so many people, so many things before themselves in in spite of the fact that they really, need to put themselves first, especially when it comes to our health. And like those decisions that you've made, like to make sure you're getting proper rest and, being intentional about your food and your products and you're getting your water and sometimes saying no and reconnecting. Like all of those things are so important when a person is dealing with codependency like me. And so I'm really glad to hear that you are putting yourself first.
Well, Kimberly, I thank you for that. And yes, I'm glad you mentioned that part about codependency because a lot of the things that I was doing was based on codependency habits
Mm,
and ways that I had managed. I had been brought up to be the caregiver in my family, the problem solver. I was the first daughter after three sons. So not only did I have to take care of things pertaining to my brother, I also had the assignment of being responsible for my younger siblings, even though they were not my children. So
mhm,
throughout life, I still had those habits, and they did not always serve me well. So, yes, learning to say no is key, and learning that you need to put yourself first because they are manipulating you. Once your eyes are open, you can start seeing things that um, you didn't realize that that's what was happening. And I don't
mhm.
want to call anyone by names, but
Right.
there are certain personalities that they will not let you have peace. And I learned that you have to fight for what you're entitled to. It's just like receiving the promises of God. He gives them to us, but we have to take them. The things of the kingdom are by force. And I realized for my health and to be able to live long and strong, I had to do the things that I knew were right. And yes, I check God on things because sometimes, you have to ask, is it right? Is it me? And when the answer is right, then that's what you go with.
Okay. So I didn't have this question on here, but you can add this your response to this question. Like, how did you find out about the skinny drops? And now the other question that I sent you previously, how did your role as supervisor with Partner Co influence your journey, like your weight loss journey? And what support did you receive from your colleagues in this company? So how
Okay,
did you learn about the drops and yeah.
first of all, I just want your audience to know that I did not get a chance to go over these questions. So
Right. That's
they are spontaneous. So
yes.
forgive me if they're not polished answers, but they are from my heart. The
That's
way
the
I
most
found out,
important part.
the way I found out about the skinny drops per se is that May, no, I'm sorry, it was uh, April a year ago. A good friend of mine sent me a text to invite me to a meeting that his wife was hosting on balancing hormones. As I said, I'm a
Okay.
woman full of hormones from the top to my head, and thyroid, underactive thyroid, stress up the yin yang, cortisone running here and there, menopause, all of those hormonal things that gets out of balance.
Yes.
And just knowing that those things was out of balance, remembering that I had gained 62 pounds because my doctor did not realize my hormone was not secreting as it should. I said, oh, okay, that's great. But what happened is the day of the meeting, my husband had a heart procedure, and out of sight, out of mind. I took care of what was priority, and for months I didn't think about it. But then later in November, after we had did the post-ops on his procedure, and I had a doctor's visit, and actually my numbers weren't as out of whack as I thought.
Mm, okay.
And I just got so jubilant and saying, "Oh Lord, you kept me. You kept me through all of this." And that's when I made up my mind to turn it around, because
Mm-hmm.
he had kept me through the storm. He carried me through it, but he also kept me with a sound mind, which is what my mother said dearly. Having a sound mind, knowing who you are and where you are and who you belong to. So
Mm-hmm.
all of that sort of resonated, and I remembered him, and I said, "Oh wow, let me call my friend Fred." And so I did, and I said, "I know months ago you invited me. Now I'm ready." And he had a meeting scheduled after Thanksgiving, and so I purposed to go. I attended the presentation, because that's how you're introduced to it, through a presentation. A friend may share, but actually to get the details of it is better that you see,
Mm-hmm.
because so many facets of it. And sometimes it takes multiple times and different points to make it click for you. But I knew it would click for me when I heard a couple of the testimonies on the products and how it had improved others' lives with their particular health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, I knew I was my hormones was off. I had became a witch, know. Everything bothered me. And so afterwards, I told him, yes, I told him actually before I went to the meeting, not even before seeing the presentation. I said, "I'm going to get them because I trust you."
Right.
And I knew he was dealing with some health challenges, and he had shared his, just a snippet of his testimony on how they were helping him. So even before I went, I said, "Have my box because I'm going to get
Mm-hmm.
the box."
Right.
And he said, "But I want you to see the presentation," which is the only way really to be true with your friends, is to let them see, because they're going to see what they see. I saw what I saw. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
way to get my health back. I saw a means of taking homeopathic, non-chemical products through the form of drops and get my hormones in balance. So my main thing was to get my hormones in balance.
Mm-hmm.
And the side effect was the weight loss. And so truly I purchased them, I used them starting on January 2nd. I started using the drops. And for me, as I said, being a senior, 73 years old, and having hypothyroidism. And I emphasize that only for people who really, really know how hard it is to lose weight. Your body stores that fat, and it's a different type of fat that you can
Mm-hmm.
work out, you can
Yeah.
run, you can stay in the gym, and your body still holds on to that fat
Mm-hmm. It's
because
visceral
you're
fat.
you have visceral fat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started it, and after two weeks, well, the first week I realized that I could sleep through the night. I
Oh,
could
wow.
sleep through the night, and no matter how much noise my husband did trying to, I slept like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized too that my mood and my temperament changed, because then I could then start treating him more like a baby when he needed to be treated like a. And so I said, "Wow, I'm sleeping better. I'm not as moody." And then I was taking my weight. I just took it daily and logged it. And I went into a 28-day challenge, which ran from January 2nd through the 28th. And for me, I lost 8.8 pounds. And I was thrilled. But what I noticed most was the inflammation in my body was released.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how much inflammation. As I mentioned earlier, I hadn't taken pictures in full body picture in years, but I had become content with a round face and not realizing all of that was inflammation.
Mm.
And so the drops helped me release the inflammation out of my body. It helped me release the visceral fat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just hooked. I said, this is so simple. I put drops under my tongue. I
Right.
wait 10 minutes. I take the second set of drops because it is a set of two. And my appetite decreased, my taste for food and my palate, oh, just tea. I could just actually just enjoy the taste of fresh brewed tea. It was just so heavenly just to get my taste back for
Mm.
natural things, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And I was aware that toxins were being released from my body uh, from the fat burning process. So I made sure to drink my water. And
Right.
I tell you, I was a brand new person within 30 days. So
I mean,
it
I feel
wasn't
a
so.
difference, and it's only been a week. Like, I see a difference.
Oh,
Let me just tell the audience, first of all, I've known Margaret for a long time, probably since 2009 through 2010. So it's been a long time because we attended the same church. Now, I've been living in Abu Dhabi and I've been watching her social media. And when I saw, so she's been posting these pictures, right, of different people who have lost weight and everything. But when I saw her, I was like, wow, she looks amazing. And so I was like, I'm going to get my drops when I get stateside. So we did meet up and I got my 2 boxes, and I've been on them since July 13th,
mhm.
and I am down, like, I've released 3 pounds. So I'm really excited about it. And but it's the hormonal thing that the drops addresses that really grabbed my attention. Because, like, I've dieted, I've fasted, I've worked out. I've worked out. I mean, worked out in the gym, like, for hours. And I've started a new journey of really focusing on my health. And I started in January with the fast.
Hmm.
And so I started eating to my blood type, and I'm B positive. And so I'd follow all of that. However, I still am excited about these drops and what it's gonna do for me health wise and with the hormones, because, like, I am in menopause. Like, I'm in the process of that right now. And it's hard. It's just more difficult. And now I understand it's more difficult because of the hormones. It's so hard to lose weight, like, after 40, like, but it's all hormonal, right?
Yes. Well, Kim, I'm so excited for you, and I'm delighted to hear, um, especially the non-scale victories that you mentioned. The changes are actually from the inside out, and they
Mhm,
only work when you put them in your body. But it's
mhm.
really easy. That's the good part about it. I have never had anything, like I said, I've done an array of weight loss things
Me
because
too.
this fat, I have never lost. I gained 62. The most I ever lost at one time was 32. So as
Okay.
that 30 pounds stuck with me from 1997. So I
Mm.
am that's why I'm so excited. I am super excited because I tell you, I would not have believed that my body would have released this weight within 6 months. And as I say, the effort is minimum because you're not buying additional foods. You're using the foods that you'll have already at home. You're eating clean.
Mhm.
We
Right.
already basically know what to not eat, the saturated processed food, high sodium, sugar, all those things. So, yeah, it comes with an approved food list, which basically covers all the food group, and a small section where it asks you to uh, just not take those things that I mentioned, that processed food, the sodium, the sugar, for a period of time while your body is in the fat burning stage and your body is releasing because you don't want anything to sabotage. I'm a great saboteur.
Right. Me
You don't want
too.
your body you want it to continue to release because it's going to be different for everyone. and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to release as it believes it's okay to resist. Because I have nearly, I won't say starved, but I went on smoothie diets. I've done these things, and I knew my calorie was low, and I still didn't lose the weight.
Right.
So this is a minimum of 1,250 calories a day. So you're going
Mm-hmm.
to need to eat plenty of food so your body say, oh, it's not starving me. She's not starving.
Right.
It's giving me the nutrients that I need. And that's the key. At this stage of my life, I want my body to be healthy. I want my latter days to be
Better
better
than
than
the
my
former
former
days.
days. And in
Yes.
my latter days, I was very active. I was I enjoyed life. And I want to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy life now.
I
I
know
want,
that's right.
yes, I want to be
Mhm.
able to travel like my friend. I want to be able to get around to see the places once I get there,
Right.
enjoy the places, enjoy the food, the people. I want to live. And as I said, I realized that I had stopped. I was living, I was alive, but I wasn't living. And I'm
Right.
excited because now I am living again and it feels good. And with this, I want to help others to realize that we can be dead walking around. You know, we say
Yeah.
dead and walking. I
Mm-hmm.
basically I realized that when my thyroid went dead, but I realized it again when I realized I had stopped living and
Yeah.
now I'm alive.
Amen. And you talked about the processed food. So I'm pescatarian, so
Mhm.
but I still don't eat a lot of meat.
Right.
And I was really looking to like some of the vegan products. And I recently learned how much sodium is in these products.
Mm.
So I like I gotta stop. So I've cut that out as well. And I love a good like Impossible Burger and all these things. I mean, oh, it's okay every now and then, but like on a regular basis,
Right.
it's so much. It's like 950 milligrams of sodium in
Oh,
one serving. That's a
wow.
lot. So
See,
I
what
had to also cut that out.
mm.
Yeah.
And what you said was key, and I think that's when I said the mindset, changing your mind about I'm in charge of this body. God gave me one body, and maybe I have slighted it and not treated it well, but it's not too late to wake up.
Right.
And part of that goes with what you just said, realizing we need to read the labels to realize what's artificial, what's saturated with sugar, what is nothing but sodium. I can't imagine 900. I don't know what that daily amount is, but I know that's a lot, and
It's
that's
a lot.
fluid retention, you
It's
know.
a lot. I
And so,
researched it. So per meal, you should have no more than 500 milligrams. So that's
okay,
almost double, and that's just one product, one part of the meal.
one part of
So
the
just
meal.
imagine
Well,
you got some fries with it, or you got some, something else.
and when you have those fries, you got to consider the saturated fat, and that's the
Right,
whole thing. You want to eat good, clean proteins. You want to eat healthy vegetables, and you do want fat because our body needs fat, but it
right,
needs the type of fat that's going to be nutrition to your body and not be harmful to your body. And
right.
we know things that are solid is not good, even though we've had it all of our lives and our parents gave it to us. They loved us. When they knew better, they do better. And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm at a place that I know better and I want to do better.
That's
And
right.
uh,
Know better, do better, know better, and act on what you know to do
ooh,
better. That's
that's
what I
right.
had to learn in my own personal journey. Like I knew about this eating to my blood type for a long time, right? Took
Hmm.
pictures of like, the foods I should eat, the foods I should avoid, and never did anything about it. Like it's literally been sitting in my phone, you
Ooh,
know? And
yeah,
so that's what happened this January. I knew better, but I didn't act on it so that I
right.
could do better, you know?
Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited that because it seems like we both got started in January, and indirectly that might have been a New Year's resolution in the back part of our brains.
Mhm.
But we acted on the fact, and you know what that is too, because I use this term now. Uh, I'm gathering. So you were gathering information. You may not have
Mm-hmm.
acted on it, but you gathered enough to make a wise decision on what you
Right.
had what you had
Right.
gathered. And then you had a mindset and a paradigm shift to say, okay, this is 2024, and I'm going to do something with what I've gathered.
Right. Exactly.
And that's how I
Exactly.
feel about myself, is that I've decided it's not too late. And that's what I want to say to everybody. It's never too
That's
late.
right.
It's that we have breath in our body, we still have time.
And yep.
God redeems time.
Yes.
And so I am very hopeful for my future. I'm looking to have, as I say, a strong body. I don't need just a thin body. I want actually a lean, strong body, because to live life and to do the things of the kingdom, you have to be fit to serve.
Right.
And if
That's
they're
right.
pushing you around in a wheelchair, now you're taking someone else. So
Right.
no canes, no wheelchairs. That's the other thing in my reconnection, Kimberly, that I did. Um, Post pandemic, we used to have weekly meetings with the seniors, and we did chair exercise and trips and all kinds of things, because it was fellowship, and fellowship is key. I resumed my weekly fellowship with the seniors. We're not doing as many things, but it's just exciting to be in their presence because I'm gleaming from them, just as I always glean from you, because you're so full of
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and wisdom.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
and and as I know you, as you mentioned before, we have a heart to want to help others. Like when we went through the codependency recovery program, it was, yes, to get us out of the pit and get free. But in that freeing, we wanted to free others. And that is
Absolutely.
my desire, is to be, anything I have is only going to multiply when I give it away. So
Yeah.
all what I have about these drops is good information, things that can change your life, change your attitude, and it changes the people around you. My husband was actually the first person that vocalized that he saw me losing weight, because I did not tell him I was doing any skinny drops. I it wasn't a secret, but sometimes if you announce, then they're looking. I didn't announce, it just showed up less.
Uh-huh.
And I appreciate what you said, because in this partner.co company, we do utilize the social media where people are watching. They're gathering information, and at some point they will reach out and
Mm-hmm.
say, "I want to do what you're doing. What
Right.
are you doing?" Really, that's the big question. Is what are you doing? And my answer is, I am doing the skinny drops and I feel great. You know,
Yes.
not that I'm dieting, because I'm not dieting. This is
Right.
not a diet. This is about a lifestyle change. It's one I want to be able to carry on to the end of my life, but also impart to my grandchildren, learn young,
Mm-hmm.
so they
Mm-hmm.
can understand why they're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What does it
Right.
serve?
Right.
Not just the palate.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I just gotta uh Glenda, can you get that? Okay, I'm sorry about that. So what advice would you give to someone who's just starting their weight loss journey and feels overwhelmed?
Well, first of all, I would tell them, don't call it a weight loss. Call it a wellness health journey,
Okay.
because that's what you're looking for. You're looking to be well. And as we know in life, we're constantly on a journey. And
Right.
on this journey, we're going to be looking for other people to walk alongside us, to encourage us. Because yes, there are days it's hard when you are used to having sodas and candy, and then you say, "Don't do this," but just only do it for a period of time. And then if you decided to add it back, we know that you're not going to want to add it back, because you're going to feel so much greater while
Right.
after it's out of your system. And it does take 30 to 90 days to know that you have really detoxed.
Okay.
What I would encourage people to do is Value yourself. Realize that you have a value. Realize that God values you and that you're worthy and that you've been given gifts and things come in your life not for you to hoard, but to share. So I would say, have a little time with yourself, have a little time with the Lord, talk about and be honest. That's the key, is to be
Mhm.
honest where you are. Are you tired? Are you in pain? Can you get up and walk without having to have someone help you up? How do you get up? Do you get up like a 20, 30, 40, 50, or 90-year-old person? How do you get up?
Oh gosh, yeah, that's
So
funny.
no,
It's
so
true
those
though.
things chronologically, you may be this age,
Right.
but really, how old are you?
Mhm.
And even if that, and that's not vanity that I'm speaking, is really,
Right.
as I said, having a strong body. God gave us a body that we have to use the whole time we're able to occupy Earth.
Right.
So it's up to you to say, you know what? This is where I am. I made an evaluation. This is where I am. I don't like where I am. I'm going to do something about it. And a good friend is telling me that this is not going to break the bank. I'm not going to have to, yes, you need to clean out your pantry, some of the things that are negative. And you
Right.
can always give that to a food bank. So you're not
Mhm.
necessarily throwing it away. Uh,
Right.
so I'm going to have to change some lifestyle, some things in my life, but I want it to be a lifestyle. So I'm going to do them daily so that they compound and become a habit. And the habits would be, I'm going to get better health. It's going to serve me to go to bed on time, to
Right.
do physical activity. I won't say just that you have to go to the gym, but physical activity, move, that you're going to look to eat cleaner foods. And as Kimberly said, not eat things that are saturated in sodium, that it has no taste. It just is appealing to our eyes. And the salt is what we're tasting. So
Mhm.
that you would drink the amount of water that you need. And if you have loved ones that you really love, you want them to have a long, strong life too. I mentioned prediabetes. You don't want to be taking insulin. You don't want to be under the threat of infection and losing part of your limbs or life.
Mhm.
So, as we said earlier, when you know better, you start doing better, and then you get the results sooner.
Right. Right. Exactly. Do you have any final words for our viewers? Words of inspiration, anything you want to share before we finish our wonderful Sparkle Saturday? This has been a good
Ah,
conversation.
well, I just wanted to say that Kim is a great friend, a great host. She is using her gifts to bring this to you because she has been given the gift and it only multiplies when she give it to you. So she's asked me to come on and just tell you that I have a gift and she's partaken in that gift of making a decision to live healthier and better and strong and invest in yourself so that you can be there to enjoy your husband, your children, your grandchildren, and your great grandchildren and so forth. You're going to leave them a legacy. And if you decide to become a part of this community and family, you can actually leave a legacy now, not only of good health, but also a financial legacy, you know, and that's key. Every Others may have great jobs and they're doing great, but with inflation and things happening, we need another stream of income. And that's what that has done for me because, as I said, I'm taking care of a husband who is dealing with early onset of dementia. It's challenging. I can't do a 9 to 5, um, but I can bring in income on a weekly basis, right from my home, right from my phone. It's a
Right.
global business. In the teaching is there, the support of the, oh my goodness, I've never had a company where they say, better together, all for one and one for all.
Mhm.
And they truly mean it. There is we're in over 58 countries. There is no boundaries in the sense that anyone in this company, if you reach out to them, will help you. And that's phenomenal to me. It's not like, well, you're on the red team and I'm on the blue team and you're on the white team and we don't interact. And even though all three of you are brothers and sisters.
Right.
So we're brothers and sisters. And yes, I said that. Thank you. It's also for men, not just the women. Because
Yeah, right.
men have that. Men have insecurities on different parts of their body that they look to cover. And that's what I
Mhm.
want. I want to uncover wrinkles and all. And I want others to realize that they can actually improve their life and the quality of their life and health just by making a decision. So, what are you waiting for?
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Sparkle Saturdays. If you're watching this and you want to learn more about the skinny drops and just the products that we have with Partner Co, because Grow Inspire Sparkle has partnered with partner.co. Just check the show notes and you'll see more information there. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You are
Stay
welcome.
blessed.
You too. Bye bye.